Hi everyone, Sid here in my kitchen. Well, Sagittarius season is kicking off in a couple days. If you live on the eastern coast of North America, or I guess South America as well, this will be happening on November 22nd in the wee hours of the morning. So depending on where you live, it might be the evening of the 21st or the early morning of the 22nd. So this is time to do another collective reading for my woo homies. If you want more freedom and harmony in the world in these trying and uncertain times, then this is for you. I mean you, and you are welcome to hang out. Since this is the last full season of the year, I was gonna say Aquarius, but what I wanted to say was astrological. But anyway, given the nature of Sagittarius season, the question that I shuffled on was, how can we best set ourselves up for 2023? And as always, I have some Oracle cards on the side here. You can feel free to choose which one or which ones resonate with you the most. The question that I shuffled for these cards is, what does this group need to know? A nice catch-all question. So on that note, let's go right into the tarot portion of this collective reading. And given how the pentagram at the top of this deck is oriented, I already know that the overall energy right now is, oh my God, the overall energy is upright. And we have the Nine of Cups. I call this the wish card. Honestly, my inner cynic is rolling his eyes at this card because it's feeling like it's a little difficult for me to think of wishes that have been fulfilled. But I must admit, compared to Sagittarius season of 2021, we have come a long way. So let's look at the glass half full. And this is one card in a 10-card reading. I'm going to do the 10-card Golden Dawn spread that I always do for this. So let's go into these next two cards, which is the hidden, unseen influence below the surface. And we have the Eight of Swords and the Three of Wands. So I think that the wish that... I'm going to say the word wish a lot, okay? I'm warning you right now. Based off of these three cards, I'm feeling that the wish that is being fulfilled right now, or the wish that we are in a position to fulfill, is to realize how the constraints that we felt that we've had, or at least, no, this is a better, let me rephrase that, because the constraints that we've felt in the past were very real, but to finally feel like we are making progress in freeing ourselves from these constraints, because something that I say a lot whenever the Eight of Swords comes up is this woman thinks that she's trapped, but she's not. She can use the perceived obstacles as actually tools for her freedom, where she can use the swords to bind herself, but as long as she does so in a slow and steady way, she can't do anything rash. And combined with the threshold, what I call the threshold card here, it's almost as if unbeknownst to us, or maybe unbeknownst to others, those who would not like to see as much freedom and harmony in the world, that we're on the verge of something, you know? So this Nine of Cups here is feeling in potential. So we have a real opportunity here. So now in the known and seen influences, we have the Knight of Wands reverse and the Page of Wands reverse. So it's funny. These are two court cards in the suit of Wands. So it's a question of whenever the Knight of Wands comes up, I see this as bringing your will, bringing your passion, bringing your creativity out into the world. And the pages in general, I see as new paths opening up. So the fact that these are both fire cards, these are wands, wands is a suit of fire, it tells me that our will or desire to bring about the world that we want to see, which involves persuasion, conversations, communications with people, that we're not completely feeling free to do that right now. You know, I don't want to get too bogged down in culture war shit, but when I see these two cards here in the reverse position, in the position that they are, it's making me think that our will and desire to really shoot straight with people who aren't necessarily on board, that we don't really feel we don't really feel well suited to do it right now at this particular point. I think it's time to look at the two cards in the past, and we have the Fool and the Five of Wands. How fitting. So I'm gonna address this card first. So one thing that I want to make clear, you know how I warned you that I'm going to say the word wish a lot when I talk about the Nine of Cups here? The Five of Wands is a card of chaos for me. And in general, I think my reading of this card is pretty, you know, in line with the general consensus among tarot readers. Okay, I'll put it that way. But the thing that I'm pointing out, and the reason why I'm going to use the word chaos a lot when talking about this card, is that these kids aren't necessarily fighting. The Five of Wands is one of these cards that's ambiguous by design. Are they fighting? Are they playing? Are they trying to build something and just really sucking at it? It's kind of hard to tell. However, one thing that is easy to tell is that these wands are all over the place, and these kids, you know, if they're actually trying to organize, it doesn't show, you know. So there's a very chaotic energy here, but through that, finding the tools that we've had available to us this entire time, represented by the little knapsack here that the Fool is holding, specifically this thing here, to actually find ways to move forward. And you know, Five of Wands, Fool, Nine of Cups is a very fitting energy going into the present energy. Honestly, I don't feel particularly well suited to elaborate just yet. So let's look at the two cards for incoming influence, or for lack of a better term, future. And we have the Three of Swords reversed and the Nine of Swords. Yeah, you know, my inner cynic who rolled his eyes when the Nine of Cups came up in the present energy feels ratified right now. But I think that this is a reminder that despite the progress that we've made compared to this time last year, that we really are at the beginning, you know, at the threshold, that the new path has just opened up or wants to open up and is not particularly well suited. And I think that, despite the potential that's contained in the present moment, that contemplating how this path that we want to navigate down isn't as easy to navigate as we would like, will provide many opportunities for anxiety, and to just be mindful of that. I'm seeing this Nine of Swords as a warning, but yeah, combined with the Three of Swords in reverse, is a definite warning to not, despite all the potential contained in the present moment, to manage our expectations. Managing our expectations is the main thing that I think I want to end this particular part of the reading on. So, final card, the bridge between the past and the future, and we have the World. How fitting. Okay, I'm gonna go on this rant before I flip this deck over to see what the bottom card is. My relationship with the World card has been in rapid flux as of late. So the key symbol that is that makes this card exist in some kind of quantum superimposition in my mind is the wreath that surrounds this naked woman here. I think that it can either be a target to focus in on or protection to focus on being well surrounded. But one thing is for sure, the world is the final major arcana card, is the ultimate destination. And I think that the message with the world card in the position that it is, and it's in the upright position, I always rotate cards clockwise, is to realize that this is a message that has come up a couple times in these readings. It is to realize that paradise is where we create it, and that what is in our locus of control can be paradise, and what is outside of our control to pay it no mind. And I think that it's funny that I'm speaking so much without revealing what the bottom card is, but it is, I sense that this card combined with the 9 of Swords and 3 of Swords in reverse here is saying that the key to not get discouraged and to not stress ourselves out is to focus on what we can control. Again, this is a theme that has come up many times throughout these readings. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Death card reversed. So death is a card of transformation, and the Death card reversed, binding this entire reading together, is reminder that this bringing about the world that we want to create together, a world with more freedom, harmony, especially considering where we've come from on our way to the present moment, is a process that it's the ever eternal message to just be patient and to realize that it's not going to happen overnight. This is a message that comes up time and time again with the tarot, or at least the way I do it. Maybe I'm just impatient. Maybe we're all impatient. Actually, we can scratch the maybe part there. But I think that and before moving over to the Oracle cards, I'm going to pause the recording just to make sure that there's anything that I didn't miss. But I think that the overall summary of this message is that we should feel good about the progress that we've made so far, and understand that despite the opportunities that we have, these aren't, when you feel like you're closer to the end zone, that's when we can feel more encouraged to put our foot on, to hammer the gas pedal and to really slam it, and to keep in mind that this isn't the time to slam down on the gas, but it is a time to focus on the paradise that we've created within our locus of control, and to be grateful for that. So just before moving on to the Oracle card portion, I'm going to pause the recording just to make sure that there's anything that I didn't miss. I'll see you right now. Yeah, so as some final thoughts before I move on. There's a lot of breaking down the elements of this reading. There's a lot of passion and creativity represented by the fire cards, the wands, of which there are 4 out of 10, and also the airy signs of the thoughts and words of the swords and the fool. So there's a lot of dynamism in this reading, and to just remember that the safe refuge in the middle of all this, with the only water card in this reading, 2 if we include the bottom of the deck, but if we don't, the 9 of Cups is the only water card. And I gotta say, if you're only gonna have one water card, the 9 of Cups is a good card to go by. And the bridge between the chaos and the future that we want to build being the very grounding energy of the world card. The world card is either earth or air, depending on how you count it. The world card is associated with Saturn, which rules an air sign and an earth sign. So that's where that comes from. Anyway. It's funny also that we have the Fool, the first major arcana card, and the last major arcana card. So just never lose sight of the vision. And I think that being content in the little paradise that we create for ourselves, and to remember that the chaos that is happening around us and the dynamic energy that is happening around us, that we don't need to let it in to knock us off our game, which is the best way to avoid the potential anxiety and stress that, you know, the future, for lack of a better phrase, might have in store for us. So yeah, home is where the heart is, and if you're seeing this, there's a good chance that you've already taken steps to create your own little paradise, and it's gonna be a good time to have it, you know. So on that note, let's go with if you chose this card, the archetype card. It is the Mystic. The Mystic. Excellent. The light attribute is revels in intimate union with the divine. The shadow attribute is delusional rapport with the divine. So basically, it's okay to have a dream, but you can't live in a dream world. So keep in mind that yes, the little paradise that you've created will be a safe refuge and might even draw people in with good reason. However, don't the situation that we're dealing with, we can't our way out of this. So yes, it is good to keep in mind your relationship with the divine, your relationship with, you know, the spiritual side of it, like what I'm doing right now. However, you can't just rely on the woo stuff, you know. I know I'm not. This isn't the only thing that I do, you know. I would like it to play a bigger part, but I won't get lost in that. Let's move on to the next card here, which is Peace. Well, that is pretty simple. Listen, peace can be inner and outer, and I'm gonna remind you that to find your place of peace, to find your little place of refuge, both in your mind, where you can find. Basically, you're being invited. If you pick this card, you're being invited to find ways to calm your mind, to calm your inner voice, to take a deep breath in moments where you feel you will need it. That can be an essential tool that can serve you in the times to come. And also, you know, to not pick fights. Be careful which fights you pick. And if you pick this card, you might not want to pick any. Or at least, you know, not focus on that, to certainly not get lost in them. Be wise in that regard. And finally, if you chose the Moonology Manifestation card, we have the full moon in Pisces, which just says, forgive. What a fitting thing. This is very related to the Peace card here, but I'm going to focus on this. Listen. We've all, if you're one of my woo homies, we've all had people that have greatly disappointed us, like in a major way, over the last 2.5 years. And I think to set yourself up for a killer 2023 would be to find a way to forgive these people. Also, to find a way to forgive yourself if ever you've acted in a less than enlightened way. But, you know, as the year of 2022 winds down to a close, and you know, based on the astrologers that I follow, who are way better suited than I am, it's looking like Sagittarius season is going to be like a well-needed break for us as far as the space weather is concerned, this would be a good time to focus on that. Maybe, you know, mend some bridges which might be mended and not focus on what burned those bridges and who lit the match and who poured the gas and all that shit. So that is something that you're being invited to do. And on that note, I think that wraps everything up. If you liked this video, please like this video. It really helps out the channel a lot. I really enjoy doing these videos in particular. I'm gonna be real with you. If you're still watching, you deserve to know this. These videos and the full moon and new moon videos that I do for my woo homies is really what this channel is about as far as I'm concerned. And everything else is, you know, theater or ways to, you know, get myself out there. So if you're watching this, if you're watching this and it resonated with you, I really, really, really appreciate you and what you're bringing about in this world. We need more people like us, and hopefully there are enough of us to, you know, bring about the world that we want. So on that note, you take care. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.